You are listening to Horizon. Today's episode is Food for Fraternity. If music be the food of love, play on. As the bard had said, food is indeed music to many of our ears. In Indian culture, we hold food with deepest respect, and offering food to the needy is considered to be a sacred act. So, after the initial shock of lockdown settled, some people came together to stand by their neighbors who were less fortunate. Lockdown saw the birth of community kitchens. From Dom to Jadavpur, community kitchens sprung up in different parts of Kolkata and beyond. We have Mr. Bashobjit Ghosh sharing his journey with the community kitchen efforts at Dom Nagorik Samunnoy Moncho.
We started as a socio-economic and cultural organization back in the year of 2018. This COVID-19 situation struck our land. We decided to start a community kitchen. The trigger behind it was that the people, the migrant laborers, the old and aged, they do not have the means to cook their foods from the supply that the other organizations were giving them, the food supplies. We thought of getting the community kitchen in place. Aged people and the migrant laborers who do not have the means to cook at that very moment. We started our journey on 22nd of March. We distributed around about 400 packets on the day one. We completely helped by the local people after 2 months. So that was an achievement in itself. So I want to share you a few glimpses of our achievement. The first one was that one of our friends who is based out of US, he's a healthcare professional. He donated us the food for 7 working days, and that is an achievement in itself. He donated us in the memory of his beloved uncle. I think that we were up to his expectations. Called us and said that please do not top this community kitchen or else we will die out of starvation. That was something again triggered us, which rejuvenated us to carry on. Till the Amphan struck our land, we continued with this community kitchen, and then we shifted this community kitchen to Nishapur area of South 24 Parganas, Pathur Pratima block, and there we are still running community kitchen of 150 heads. We are feeding 150 heads a day during the last 1 month at Nishapur. So that is all about ourselves.
What had initially started as an experiment soon became a trending practice, and student communities were one of the pioneers of many such endeavors. What prompted them to take this initiative? We asked this question to Dyuti Ghosh of Jadavpur commune.
So we started this drive from 23rd March. When we heard about the widespread threat about the coronavirus, and when we saw that how the lockdown has been affecting the lives of the daily workers, slum dwellers, etc. So that is when we felt that as student community, we have some responsibility to do something and come to some help. And from this idea, the general students of Jadavpur University, some of our friends, planned to start the Jadavpur commune. So initially we started by, at the very beginning we started by serving at around 300 people daily. Then later on another platform joined along with us, and they also started helping us in all possible ways. Although we started the Jadavpur commune initially for battling the COVID-19 situation, yet as we all know that in between this pandemic, the devastating Amphan had already struck Bengal. And immediately, we decided to give away dry rations, sanitary napkins, tarpaulins, sanitizers, etc. to the most affected districts. And in the meantime, we were continuing the food drive at Charu Market, Jadavpur, Goriahat and the Dhakuria areas. We just crossed the 94th day, and today we serve at around 1200 people daily. Regularly, our daily menu have rice, dal, soybean, or egg or chicken. But there are some on special occasions we try to add some extra dishes to this regular menu, hoping to make the special occasion a bit more special to them also. Throughout the whole journey, we have met innumerable new people, and gradually a bonding has started to grow between all of us. And now when we go back every day, familiar faces stand there, wait there, expecting for us to come back each day. that expectation is what helps us to carry on our work every day without any fail and under all situations.
Postgraduate student of Economics Department from Presidency University, Shayan Chakraborty, who is a part of Quarantined Student Youth Network, has a more comprehensive experience to share.
Now we are in College Street People's Kitchen. Today we are preparing 600 meals as we are preparing meals for the street dwellers and informal sector workers in College Street, Asia's biggest book market. They are very close to us. We have one-to-one warm interactions with them for almost all days before lockdown. First we cooked meals in Murari Pukur and distributed it in College Street. Then we shifted cooking in the streets and later in Kela Bagan where we are now. While preparing and distributing foods, we maintain all the hygiene and sanitation norms. In the situation, although College Street is red zone, we can successfully avoid any transmission. We fix our daily menu keeping people's nutrition in mind. For today, we are preparing rice and eggs, egg curry and so on. We are preparing foods. We from Quarantine Student Youth Network, we have successfully run 26 kitchens in different places across West Bengal. It covers Adivasi villages in Jungle Mahal to leprosy affected villages in Purulia, for LGBTQ plus people in Kuch Bihar, for jute mill workers in Boranagar. Initiated 14 more kitchens in Amphat affected Hingalganj, Basanti, Goshaba, Bachara, Hasnabad and other places. So far we can reach approx 50,000 people with food for last 3 months in 37 distinct places. So we believe not social distancing but physical distancing with social solidarity is the need of the hour. We must think not for a few but for all.
Community kitchens function on the basis of volunteer work from people. It requires a steady flow of money, as all of these kitchens run on crowdfunding. Contributions started to pour in initially through word-of-mouth publicity, but social media became a big help to reach out to the diaspora who did not hesitate to donate even from outside the country. It was the best they could do to give back to the roots, as said by Shiladitya Roy Chaudhary from San Diego, California.
Making a financial contribution seemed like the only meaningful thing I could do from 20,000 miles away. The thing is, I've been away from Kolkata and Bengal for the past 20 years, but I have kept in touch with what's happening in my home state in terms of the society, the politics, its development, and of course, the news of COVID-19 and its impact. Most notably with the lockdown, was everywhere, and it had affected everyone. However, the most severely impacted were those daily wage earners or laborers whose lives were disrupted almost overnight with practically no source of income, and with limited savings they quickly ran out of money to buy even food or cook. When I heard of these community kitchens, to have ready cooked food and take it to them, to those who are in need, was, I think, the most meaningful way to impact. We could always think about what the government can do, what the NGOs can do, what the society can do, but while we wait for these answers, hunger doesn't wait. I made a financial contribution to it, and I think it's a great idea, and it should continue until the point that things come back to its pre-COVID state, where these laborers and wage earners can get back to earning money and they are up on their feet to resume their normal lives. And so I would hope that these community kitchens would continue until that time.
Raj Lakshmi Basu, postdoctoral research fellow from Huddersfield, West Yorkshire, UK, has a similar thought.
A decade since I left Calcutta, but my friends and family still live there, so I never really drifted too far from all the goings on back in Bengal. And of course, there was social media to keep track of everything anyway. So towards the end of March, I've seen the UK lockdown happening here. I've seen firsthand how difficult it got for everyone, me included, to source and stock food and ration. And it was especially difficult for people who were working odd jobs, living on daily or weekly wages, or even students who are on student budgets. So it's very difficult to have enough money at the same time to plan ahead for a month, to buy food for a month, and sometimes even more because this lockdown was for 2 months or more. So it gets really difficult. And soon enough, India was doing the same. They declared a hasty lockdown. And then on social media, I could see how people, even if they could otherwise afford food, weren't getting enough food stocked because of the lockdown and everything was shut down. People couldn't buy things. Even if they could, there was the difficulty of cooking it because cooking requires getting the fuels, and that gets really difficult in these uncertain times. It was a very, very difficult situation. And then I saw that there were attempts being made for making a community kitchen where they were serving ready cooked meals to the community, which I believed was immensely helpful because stocking food isn't enough, it needs cooking, and that's what they were doing for them, which was a wonderful, wonderful attempt. One of these kitchens was being run by a friend, so I didn't hesitate to contribute there, and I hope that they continue doing these altruistic endeavors, and I wish them all the best in the future.
Community kitchens not only help the laborers and daily wage earners and elderly, but beneficiaries often included families who were otherwise able to manage resources before, but a sudden interruption meant temporary loss of income, for whom these neighborhood kitchens came as a boon. Take the case of Swagata Shaha.
During the global pandemic of COVID-19, we were forced into lockdown for 3 months. Everyone suffered due to it. My father lost his job during lockdown and my family was already in a financial crisis. My parents depended on my income. I tutor children in our locality, but due to social distancing, even that was not possible in the first few months. We were really feeling hopeless. It was then the Domdom Nagorik Somonnoy Sangho organized community kitchen to our rescue. They delivered cooked food every day for a week. Now I have resumed my classes via mobile phone and we have thankfully overcome that situation. But I can never forget how the community kitchen helped us to out of the blue. Thanking them is not enough and I have decided to donate at least one food packet to them. It costs just ₹25 so that they can help some other person in need. Thank you so much.
That sums up the essence of the community kitchen, where on one hand, the community mobilizes themselves to take forward the kitchen towards self-reliance, and on the other, individual beneficiaries are inspired to make contributions according to their means, paying forward the positivity. All in all, it embodies one of the most important of the 5 tenets of Vedic philosophy: welfare of many, happiness of many. Bahujan Sukhaya, Bahujan Hitaya Cha. You were listening to Horizon. Today's episode was Food for Fraternity. Narration and interviews by Avirupa Bhaduri. Edited by Shuranjan Das. Produced by Anunna Mojumdar.